up and sit down.
Hello folks, Colin here, Vesta 67's workshop, and welcome to issue number 93 of Build the 1967 Mustang Eleanor from the film Gone in 60 Seconds from our good old mates over at Fanhome. Now, if you'd like to grab this, build along with me, head over to their website. There's a clickable link in the description below. And you too can be building this 1/8 scale Ford Mustang. So what are we going to be up to today in issue 93? So let's have a look at Lou. We're going to be pulling up the bonnet. You're going to need to go back and grab the bonnet from your early issues. You remember rightly, I kept mine in its plastic cover from way back when, and we're going to be putting in all the bonnet hinges, springs and all of that lot today. So a little bit of a fiddly stage, but it should go quite easily, folks. Okay, so there's your bonnet, there's your quadrants that are going to go on the actual bonnet itself, and then all the hinge assembly with the springs, and then we'll get ready then to fit that to the body shell that we put together last time out. And hopefully by the end of today's issue, we're going to have Eleanor sat there with her bonnet ready, opening and closing and all the shut lines all done nicely. Okay, so that's what we're going to be up to today. We've got our bits and pieces. That's how they arrive in the packet, folks. So we'll get this open, we'll line our bits up, and then we'll get Eleanor on the bench. We'll start fitting this together. Okay. Right, folks, there's the bonnet that we have stored religiously since issue 1. So that's what we've got on the bench, and we're going to start putting the hinges on. So let's grab one of these. We'll spin the bonnet upside down, and we want DS09s, which are these. We'll grab both of them. And we'll have a bit of oil on them as well, folks, okay? So let's pop one on the screwdriver and drop a bit of oil on there. Like that. Bink. And let's grab that. And we're going in there, over there like that, okay? So let's go through the plastic first, and then line that up with the hole in the bonnet. We'll do that fully home, like so. Make sure that that's bitten, and then we'll do the same the other side. So I just want to pre-cut the thread like I did on that one. So let's put a bit of oil on the end, and we'll pre-cut that thread as well. Just makes it easier for the screw. Go in. Just like so. Now we can get our other bracket and line that up. And get that in situ. A little bit fiddly to get it lined up, but it will go. Just like so. Just make sure that they're bit and that they're in line like that. Next up, we want 93E, and we want DS08s, which are the shorter ones. So we'll grab those, and we want 93E, which is going in there. So we'll do the same as what we did. We'll cut the thread in the hole just to make it easier, because where you've got paint on the inside, you just want to cut through the paint just so that your recutting that thread in the metal. Just like so. And then we can line that back up. I'll just pop that in situ. Like that. That's that one in. And then we'll do the same now with this side. So let's grab our second screw, recut that thread, like so, and then do the same with this one. Right, try and hold all of that together. There you go. And I'll just back that off enough just to let that move. Just check that one. Yep. So that's that done. We then want to grab 93A and grab 2 PS19 screws, which are these. So let's grab a couple of them. And we'll start with that side. We want 93A, which by powers of deduction should be left. So we want that in there like that, and then that in that bracket like so, okay? And that's what it's going to look like. So let's grab one of those with a bit of oil. Just like so. Bear in mind we're going into plastics, you don't want to over tighten these. There you go. And then we can slide that back in. Grab the second one. Bit of oil. And then we can screw that in place as well. I can extend the hinge up just to make that easier to get the screwdriver in. And then I want to do it. Just nip it up so that it bites. And that's it. That's good enough. Perfect. Like that. So that's that hinge done. We can then grab a spring, one of these, and we're going to hook it over there like so. And then it's going to come up just inside there as well. And that's going to be held in place with a PS08 screw, one of the black ones. Let's just grab that and we'll use our screwdriver in the hole like so, and then push away from you, and then the spring itself will start sliding along the screwdriver and over the peg, just like that. Then grab your PS08 and whop that in with a bit of oil. And that will then retain that spring in situ. Like that. And that will stop that spring from coming off then. Just put me bigger screwdriver bit in. Perfect. And that's what you want. Okay. That's now a working hinge. Okay. Like that. So we can do the same the other side now. Right. So we can now bring in the body shell. And we want 4 DS01s, folks. Right. And we can get the first screw in. I'm doing these very, very loosely at the moment, folks. Now there's meant to be a gap there because we got the top panel to go on and also the front scoop. So bear that in mind. You might think when you first put this bonnet on that you've made a boo-boo, but you haven't. It's done like that purely by design. So we can come back, put the other 2 screws in and start pulling this bonnet together. Like that. And then grab this one. Now whilst it's loose, I shall spin it back round and just check the alignment of everything. But it seems to be pulling together nice. So I'm running my fingers along underneath and can feel a nice panel line forming. So just gonna send these home for a minute just so that we can see how this bonnet's looking in case I need to do a bit of jigging. Right, let's spin Eleanor round. She's really getting quite heavy. Alright, we're just a little out of sorts there. But that, once that goes on the shell, we'll do it. So let's loosen those off and give this a tweak. So fingers crossed. That should do it. And that's pulled that in line nicely. So I can now tighten that one fully home. Time spent at this stage is time saved later on, folks. There you go. So that is now Eleanor with a bonnet in place, and you can see you've got a nice panel line there and a nice one there. And once this is on the actual chassis, this is going to tweak out nicely. And there's your bonnet opening and closing, folks. Okay, now that'll close right down like that. Perfect. So that's what you want, folks, at the end of this issue. So that is the latest part of Eleanor done. That's the bonnet in place, as you can see. She's looking rather sexy. We then got a land panel that's going to go across here. And then obviously we've got our front scoop that goes right across the front there with the headlights in. So that will dress that up nicely. It stays up on its own and then it closes down beautifully. So that is this issue of Eleanor finished, folks. So don't forget, if you want to grab this for yourself and build along with me, head over to the Fanhome website. There's a clickable link below in the description. Pop. And you too can be building this iconic replica of Eleanor. In the meantime, folks, if you want to help me out, just click little festikins in the corner there and subscribe to my channel. I'll be immensely grateful. Ring the bell whilst you're there. That'll give you notifications of upcoming future content. In the meantime, thanks so much for coming in and keeping me company. Bye-bye for now.